Of the challenge. My name is Tara. I'm a Christian wife, homeschool mom of almost 11 children in 5 weeks yesterday. I'm super hormonal right now, which is awesome. And I happen to be an organizational queen. I'm just gonna say it. Some people are born with athletic talent. Some people are born with intellectual talent. It's a gift from God. And I happen to have been born with organizational talent. Honestly, I used to organize my Valentines when I was in grade 2. Who does that? Well, people who are naturally organized. So that being said, I have definitely been challenged with declutter, even with my sort of God-given impulse to declutter. And of course, having almost 11 children, very high motivation, especially Christmas time, to make space. So funny story real quick. A couple of years ago, a person who shall remain nameless in my family who had a very generous heart and happened to have a connection to the dollar store at the time, went a little crazy at Christmas, to be totally honest. And I think we had 6 kids at the time. And this person got as bags, giant stockings, must have been 3-4 feet tall stockings, just these felt stockings, and filled them full with dollar store stuff for 6 children, one of whom was like a baby. I mean, there was clothes, which is awesome, but there was also just stuff, so cheap at the dollar store. We came home from their place on the night of the 25th. I almost cried. We lived in a 900 square foot home at the time with 6 children. And I was like, where on God's green earth am I supposed to put all this stuff? Honestly, I'd never encountered this before in my life. I almost cried. So I'll finish the story at the end and tell you what happened. So little suspense. Just want to let you know before we dive into it, because I had to figure out real quick, how do I deal with all this stuff when it's just piling and piling and piling? Because Christmas comes almost like I don't know, like a dump truck to your house when you have more than 2 kids, and I have almost 11. And some people are super generous. They give you so much stuff, whether it's dollar store or not. And it feels like a truck is coming up to my house, just beep, 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 and dumping all this stuff off at my house. As much as I appreciate people's generosity, when you start adding up the number of kids that you have, yeah, that Christmas can get stressful really fast. I almost resent people giving gifts at Christmas time, which is not the heart of Christmas. Speaking as a Christian, the heart of Christmas is God gave his one and only son, so whoever believes in him will not perish but have eternal life. This, for me as a Christian, is one of the most beautiful holidays that we have all year, to celebrate the birth of Christ and look forward to his return. So yeah, the giving of gifts for me is very symbolic. I choose to celebrate Christmas, and I want to keep it simple. I want to keep it sane. But this year, that one year was insane. So welcome to day 2 of the Declutter Challenge. I'm going to share with you how I do it so that I don't hate people at Christmas time and want to tear my hair out and cry. So today I'm going to talk to you about where to start. Yesterday we did some heart stuff. Today we're just going to get into it, and all this week until Friday, I've got a giveaway going on of how you could win my 2-in-1 Big Family Home Bundle for organization. So it brings together how I keep my life organized, just getting rhythms and routines, and also how I keep my home organized. Decluttering is only one part of that. Here's how you do it. Make sure you're in the group so you can jump into this if you're catching this on some other platform like my business page or YouTube. Once you're in the group, you just have to comment on the video of the day and the action item post that drops at about 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, which gives you practical steps to take to go from nice idea into a reality in your own home, so you actually can declutter any or all of your parts of your home in time for Christmas. And if you're in the States, as many of my lovely big family moms are, even in time for Thanksgiving, which is coming up for you guys real soon. We did ours in October. So there's that. There's the giveaway. Grab your notebook. Let's get into it. So if you're feeling all stressed out because the dump truck of stuff is coming and you don't have space for all this stuff, whether you live in a smaller home or you've got clutter that's been cluttering up all year and you're just stressing out about the idea, now it's time to say, well, where would I even start, right? It can be overwhelming. Like I talked about yesterday, at the bottom of the declutter mountain, looking up at the peak, seeing all these people who are killing it, or at least it looks like they're killing it, keeping their homes all organized. And it can be very overwhelming. So here's a technique that I use in many areas of my life, definitely when it comes to decluttering, and I call it triage. You may have heard me talk about it before. So here's a good reminder if you've heard it before. If you haven't heard it, it's so simple and it's so clarifying. So here it is. If you've ever been to the emergency department, you probably already are familiar with triage. It's when, the first attending, health person would decide, where are we going to put you in the queue? Are you going to die? Then you're first in line. Could you wait a little bit, but you should be next? Or thirdly, oh, you can wait for like 8 hours in the waiting room, like often happens here in Canada. So there's 3 levels of triage. And if you take that analogy and bring it into your home, thinking of decluttering, it's super helpful. So step 1 is to kind of just mentally look at your house and think to yourself. And I have an action item today at 1:00, which will help you do this. But real quick, here it is, just in theory. And you can jot this down if it's helpful for you. Triage. Step 1 is to assess out of your mental list of everything in your home you'd love to get done for Christmas. You may or may not get it all done. It's cool. What is most critical? Level 1, right? It could be a safety issue, like stuff on the stairs. You know how I do it. I put stuff on the stairs to go upstairs. Nobody picks it up but me, right? I'm like going up the stairs, holding a baby and holding a million things. And then I do put it actually away. But sometimes there's like the piles of good intention that start to clutter up your stairs on both sides. It actually can become a serious falling hazard. I've seen it happen. No major judgment, just calling it out. It happens. So there might be very serious messes, pileups in your home that are actually making it dangerous for you or your loved ones in your home. I would consider that a critical area to attend to first, right? Probably more important than, let's say, I don't know, hanging new pictures in the living room. Right? No one's going to die if you wait to do some home decor, but people could actually become injured or worse if your stairs are a hazard. There's some other, like the escape route to your house in the event of, I don't know, like a fire, right? If those kind of things are happening, those would make it, for me, into a critical level. Level 2 in triaging, again, your mental list of all the things I'd want to get done before Christmas, thinking of home decluttering, would be what I call urgent. So it's the second level. No one's going to die. It's not really a safety hazard, but it would bring me so much joy. It would de-stress me to declutter that area. I would just be like, I'd feel like I just lost 20 pounds, It would bring you a lot of joy. And that, for me, is how I assess what's sort of a level 2. But it's not going to get level 1 priority, but it's definitely next in line. And the level 3 is kind of everything else. Like you could wait in the waiting room for 8 hours. No one's going to die. Nice, but not necessary. So maybe that's, I don't know, for me to use an example in my own home, the bookshelves. We've got, I get books. People give me books all the time. Grandma's always giving me books. And I'd say about half of them I could kiss goodbye today and never shed a tear. In the meantime, though, it's not causing a hazard. It's not really super stressing me out. One of my children is assigned to organize that every night. So it's there, but honestly, I could do it in a year and my life would be no better, no worse for it. So that's how I triage the 3 levels in my home when it comes to a decluttering. Christmas time is the time when I do my big declutter, almost like spring cleaning, but I do it at Christmas time because that's when the big dump truck of stuff comes in a big family. And even if you only have 3 kids, you start to add up 10 gifts per kid from, grandma, grandpa on this side, grandma, grandpa on that side, and your friends and your neighbors. And so many people are so very generous. And sometimes they don't realize how much stuff it is in your house, right? And you may or may not have the convenience like I did, thinking of the story I opened up with. Well, what we did on Christmas night, we put everything on our dining room table. It was like a standard 6-foot long dining room table at the time. We have a 10-foot long one now. It was covered end to end with huge boxes, bigger than a diaper boxes with stuff. Like I said, I was fighting back tears. It also had been a long day, right? Christmas is a very full day when you have a family. And I'm trying to keep my heart in check and enjoy Christmas. But I looked at the stuff and I just said, I kind of balanced the social consequences of this person finding out what I was seriously tempted to do. And I talked to my husband. I said, because it was his mom. God bless her heart. She's not on Facebook, so just keep it between you and me, okay? I mean, I love the woman. She's a beautiful, lovely mother-in-law. Okay. All right. Cat's out of the bag. So I weighed out the social consequences to just the reality of me having to live with this. And as much as I love the person, I also love my sanity and I also love my own safety. So I also wanted to show the children that Christmas is not about all the stuff, right? Without being a complete monk about it and be like, nothing, we take vows of poverty because we're Christians. Like, no, we can have some stuff and enjoy gifts from people without going absolutely bananas. So what I did that night with my husband's, he said he'd help me and it was okay. We'd risk the social fallout. We got rid of 3/4 of it. We kept what we believed our children would really like, what they had most responded to emotionally. And then we got rid of everything else. Literally 4 of those boxes went right into the van to be dropped off at Value Village the next day. And some of it that wasn't even opened, I think we gave it to like a Christmas charity that we were connected with in our community, even though it was a little after Christmas, but still there's a lot of families in our community who are not blessed with so much generous stuff from, retired middle class grandparents, right? So that's what we did with that. I never really got caught. And honestly, for the next couple of weeks, my dear mother-in-law would be like, "Oh, did child 3 enjoy this very specific gift?" It was uncanny how she could remember everything she'd given them, even though collectively it must have been 500 individual gifts. And I was just like, this is how I said it without lying. It was very thoughtful of you to give that. I didn't actually answer the question like a politician, right? I didn't answer the question directly, but I still, honored her generosity without outing myself that I'd gotten rid of 3/4 of it. And the kids were young enough at the time, they didn't really notice because they had all that other stuff. So that's how we dealt with it. So if you're feeling stressed out by all the stuff that's going to come in at Christmas and how you don't really have space for it, it's stressing you out right now. Even the thought of decluttering, you're like, oh, I don't know if it's going to be enough because I don't even have a routine in my life to start decluttering. I'm going to recommend to you my Big Family Home Organization Bundle. I'm offering it in the giveaway, but if you want it right now, it's available for a ridiculously low price. I've got it linked in today's video. You can go ahead and check it out and just get started on bringing a routine to your life so then you can bring in the decluttering and the getting your home in order so the messes aren't stressing you out to the point of crying when someone, does something as innocent as giving your children some gifts. So that's there to bless you. It's certainly blessed me because now, listen, she never did it again. I think my husband might have hinted to her, thanks, Mom, but that was really a lot. I think even she was kind of like, yeah, it was a lot. So since then, it's gotten a lot easier. I've become more confident and actually skilled in how to manage my own home, and decluttering every year at Christmas is one of those things I do. So there's the action item coming at 1 o'clock today to help you triage and assess where are you going to start. Because you're here, you're doing the challenge. Even if you're catching this a little bit later, you're not live with me right now, or if you're catching this later in the distant future, everything will be saved in the guide section, the video, and the action post. So make sure you comment on both to stay in the giveaway and to get the most out of this for your own stress levels to go down and be looking forward to Christmas, however you celebrate that in your family. So I hope this has blessed you. Look forward to commenting with you. I actually see there's some people in the chat right now, so I'm just going to open it up on my phone. For some reason, I told you yesterday, I'm not able to see who's chatting. It says Facebook user. It's like anonymous people talking to me, but you're real people, and I want to say hi. Hello, Melissa May. Good to see you. And some other comments here. Let me open them up. Oh, Melissa, good to see you. Decluttering does feel so good, doesn't it? Honestly, it's like instant weight loss. It's so immediately gratifying, even if it's a small area of your home, right? I did my bathroom closet over the weekend. It took half an hour. It was like 10:30 at night. The kids were all asleep, and I just got the urge to purge, grabbed a bin, grabbed the garbage. I'll actually tell you my whole purge system. I think I'm doing that on day 4. We're going to go through it. My purge system is so good. And honestly, it is such a purge. It's so satisfying. And every time I pass by my bathroom closet, because it's the route I take to get to and from my ensuite bathroom, I just smile. I'm like, I'm so glad I did that. I can see the shelving now. I can see my stuff. I got rid of more than half of my stuff. It was a great feeling. Thank you, Melissa, for joining me live today. So good to see you here. And to anyone else, go ahead. Remember the giveaway, remember the post, and how you can actually just go ahead and grab the course right now. If you're just like, Tara, I'm not even going to wait my chances. I want it. It's there for you to bless you and help you. So God bless you. I'll see you tomorrow.